Welcome, friends, to the session. We have a lot of news that we'd like to share with you. Welcome to each one of you. Welcome, Jazz. Always nice to see you. So let's start with the first story. We're talking about this woman who has been so evasive. So now, let me just get on to, yeah, okay. Now, see, for weeks, this woman has been like a ghost. Nida Khan. We're talking about the woman at the center of a firestorm of allegations involving religious coercion, sexual harassment, and a grooming racket within a major BPO unit in Nashik, has reportedly been apprehended by authorities after a high-stake manhunt. While early reports painted her as a powerful HR head who manipulated company policy to silence victims, the investigation has revealed a more complex and unsettling picture. The deception of designation, the initial scoops identified her as a senior HR manager. However, official statements from the company clarified she was a process associate, that is, a telecaller. Investigations are now probing how a junior employee allegedly wielded through such influence to target young women aged 18 to 25. And this whole network has been a shadow one. At least 9 FIRs have been registered, alleging a coordinated effort to pressure employees into specific religious practices and normalizing a workplace misconduct. Now, this woman has acted as a fugitive. She has been absconding for weeks, with police discovering her residence in Mumbai locked. During her time on the run, she reportedly sought anticipatory bail on the grounds of pregnancy, a move her legal team used to stall the SIT probe. After tracking her movements through Mumbai and its outskirts, including Bhiwandi, recent reports indicate that the hunt for her, Nida Khan, has finally concluded, with her being taken into custody to face the mounting evidence gathered by the National Commission for Women and local police. So now let's go to the pictures. Now, a search for Nida Khan leads to a closed door in Thane's Mumbai. In a cramped neighborhood, the door is secured with a heavy lock. Mumbai police officer P.I. Sawant confirms it was locked when the police arrived. It remains locked on a subsequent visit. A neighbor speaking from a doorstep says the apartment was rented only for 2 months, like 2 months ago, by Mrs. Khan's husband, who works in logistics. The family originally comes from Bhiwandi. You have rarely seen them come home. The house stays locked 90% of the time. Neighbors say they have barely ever seen Nida in the house, where her husband and her mother-in-law were seen primarily. Other neighbors, however, were not ready to talk at all about the case. Some shut their doors, others looked away when asked. The silence in the lane feels as heavy as a lock on her door. Now, the Nashik police have since formed 3 teams to track Ms. Khan down. Her husband was detained by Mumbai police on Friday, that is April 17th, and during questioning gave information about another address of a relative where Nida had gone. A team was dispatched there immediately, but the house was locked. Her mobile phone and those of her relatives remained switched off. Now, the 2-story bungalow in Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar's Naregaon area, where TCS employee had been staying with relatives, this is the place that we are talking about, is being traced. Now, let's move on to more details about this. Now, the police shunned their khaki and their jeeps and scattered across the neighborhood where they believe she was. So now we're taking you to this image. Now, where they believe Nida Khan has been hiding to evade arrest in the Nashik TCS conversion case. Now, the cops move slowly but confidently, armed with a carefully planned strategy, and eventually zeroed in on the main suspect in the case. Now, Nida Khan has been on the run since the forced conversion case came to light. As you know, the police have been on a relentless pursuit ever since, but success remained elusive till the first week of May. Then came a tip-off that she had been hiding in a rented flat in the Kaisa colony in the Naregaon area of Chhatrapati Shivajinagar. There were strong inputs that she had been staying there for the past 3 to 4 days. She wasn't alone. Her father, mother, brother, and a maternal aunt were also present with her. But the police wanted to be sure. They used technical analysis and location tracking to confirm her presence in the Naregaon area. then kicked in a rare police tactic. They knew this was the moment they had been waiting for, but still they waited. The police started continuous surveillance over the area for 3 to 4 days before they moved on with the arrest process. To avoid attention, they decided to blend into the crowd. More than 20 police personnel were deployed within the premises where Nida Khan was staying, as well as in the surrounding vicinity. They shunned their uniform, they wore plain clothes, and did not use police jeeps to ensure that the locals didn't get a whiff of the police operation. Now, Nida Khan had reportedly been seeking legal counsel from some lawyers in Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. Preparations were underway to file a bail application in the High Court as well. The police swooped in and took her into custody before the application could be filed. Now, following her address, Nida Khan was produced late last night before a judge at the judicial officer's official residence at Sutgirini Chowk. The Nashik police obtained a transit remand and departed for Nashik in a special vehicle with her for further investigation. Sources said a total of 5 other individuals were present with her in the house when she was arrested. Now, she is accused of forcing several employees at the Nashik office of the IT giant Tata Consultancy Service (TCS) to convert their religion. A process associate at TCS since 2021, she was suspended last month after being charged. The investigation has so far found that she had sent Islamic religious content, including books and videos, to survivors in an attempt to influence them as part of what is being suspected to be a racket that involves several other employees at her office and also leading towards something like human trafficking. So this is also some very, very grave, this thing. And also please understand that this woman is the most evil woman. If she can do this to other women, you can just imagine the cantankerous nature of this woman. Absolutely, she must be so hateful, because see, when you see a person of your own sex, you will always try to help them, and here is a woman who's trying to do everything harmful to her own colleagues. Now let me just take a few comments. Welcome Leena, as always, and welcome Dhanashri and Parag. And Leena says people like her should be thrown out of India and stripped of citizenship. In fact, Leena, I would seriously say, I wish such people were hanged publicly, because this is no small crime, So this is something that these people should take very, very seriously. Shanmugam, welcome. And we have Dhanashri saying, Nida Khan was Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, Aurangabad. This city is dominated mostly by M community. The area where she was hiding is isolated and was supported by an MIM leader. Okay, this is more information coming in from Dhanashri. Thank you so much for that. And Leena says, even Christians keep converting in India. And now you have, of course, as in Tamil Nadu, you have Vijay Joseph is going to do a lot more of that, I'm sure, once he comes to power. And KK says, unless they are foreign spies, it's a tragedy that they are a bit against their own country so easily. Now, Leena says, in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Middle East, you can't convert. It is death penalty. See how well Leena has put it. See, in other countries, they are so much more strict, whereas in India, they get such a lenient hand. So it's very good that this woman has been found. And now I hope law takes, like all the, anchors say in the mainstream channels, now law will take its own course. No, we don't want law to take its own course. Because law in India, when they say it takes its own course, it means years and years. You know the case of SSR. It's 6 years and nothing has happened. Now, Dhanashri says, Malaysia is infamous for organ and now connect these dots. Yes, and also trafficking. Don't forget that, Dhanashri. These women are taken and usually they are, made as prostitutes or sex slaves in other countries. And these gullible women did not realize it. And you're talking about, Jay Parag says, jihadi mentality, big challenge for India. And Mashrishi says, anti-conversion law is long absent. I suppose you would have said that. So you can just repeat what you said and we'll read it out again. So this is, I'm very happy that this has happened because it has been long overdue. Yes. And Jazz says, Sambhajinagar is the gun of Muslims. That's why she was protected. Yes, absolutely. See, Jazz and all the others, now you've seen what is happening in West Bengal. This is going to happen in every state in India. So these people cannot hide anymore. So that's the message that's being given by Amit Shah in West Bengal is very strong and loud. Time for a common civil code. Absolutely. So so this was the house that she was hiding in. Now we take you on to the good news that Suvendu Adhikari is going to become the next CM of Bengal. So Nida should be punished is what Chandra Reddy says. In fact, the kind of people, the messages that people are giving are so people are so angry because this woman did this heinous crime with other women. And what you say is right. Hindus converting should be banned forever. There should be a strict law against this. Yes, absolutely, Jazz. So now, I would just want to take you to another picture. 1 second. Let me just take you from, this was given from WhatsApp. Now you'll see here. Now, let me just make it bigger. Yeah. So you will see that Kejriwal has been finished, and then you have none other than Lalu Prasad's son, who has also been removed. Okay. Then you have Mamta Didi, the jihadi Hitler, and then you have Jyoti Basu from the Communist Party. You have Mayawati, who's been removed, and then you have K. Chandrasekhar Rao of Telangana and Jagan Mohan of Andhra, and also Stalin. So all these people have been removed very, very, thankfully for the people, I would say. So I'll just take a few more comments. Dhanashri says there's a video about Kerala. After video, some of them were carrying green flag, which is a bit scary. Absolutely. DMK has broken with Congress now. Was it a mistake that BJP let TMC workers go? Shouldn't there be quick trials for the crimes they commit? Now, one thing is very important. Just as Suvendu Adhikari is going to be sworn in tomorrow, he needs to be given absolute security. It is former Orissa CM. Which one are you talking about? Yes, sorry. That is the former Jayparak. My apologies. So the 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the fourth person is actually former Orissa CM. And yes, most of the Christians voted for Vijay and they pulled the carpet under Stalin. Ma'am, Mamta wants to enter. Yeah, okay. Now, I don't know what song and dance she's going to do there. So let's go back to what's happening in West Bengal. Yeah. So the good news is that finally West Bengal has got rid of the Hitler, the Hitler lady. And Suvendu Adhikari will take oath as the first BJP Chief Minister of West Bengal. On Saturday, the decision was taken at the BJP legislative meeting in Kolkata in the presence of Union Home Minister Amit Shah. He is all set to take the oath as a CM on Saturday at Brigade Parade Ground in Kolkata in the presence of PM Modi, Union Home Minister Amit Shah, and Chief Ministers of NDA ruled states. Now, here, friends, you will also see that, because, being, the fact that, in a BJP ruled state, there's nothing, they don't hide and play hide and seek like they are doing in Tamil Nadu, or as they were doing earlier in Karnataka, and as they are doing now in Kerala. They are very clear about who has to be the chief minister, and they are very clear that the people who have worked hardest will get the seat. And here, the kind of nightmare that Suvendu Adhikari has been living. So let me just take a few comments as well as I go. Lena says Mamta wants to enter Rajya Sabha now. And I'm happy that the deputy Stalin, who wanted to eradicate Sanatana Dharma, is no longer part of government. But let me tell you, KK, Vijay is no better than Deputy Stalin, because he is equally more of a Christian. He's known as Joseph, and he's I don't think he even likes Saratanadamma. Chandra Reddy says the only ray of hope for our Hindus is BJP is in power. Thank you, ma'am. And we thank the people who have voted fearlessly this time because of the kind of security that Modi ji has offered them. Now, the need to arrest Abhishek Banerjee now as soon as, yes, this is the need of the hour, because this man is very, very devious and he's a very sleazy man. And this man has to be put in jail immediately. And PA was extremely young, just 42. Nation didn't realize Mamta Banerjee, her government was. See, I was just looking at, in fact, Leena, I was just looking at the picture of this boy's mother crying, and I felt so sad. I mean, he didn't even realize that just when his, person came to power, instead of enjoying the rest of his life, within few seconds he was killed. So the kind of lady this Mamta is, I mean, nobody is going to be able to forgive her. Her government was a nightmare for the common man, says Leena. Absolutely. And Vijay joining hands with Congress, he'll be far more dangerous than Stalin. He is anti-India. Yes, he is being funded by Soros. It is very clear that he is being funded by the deep, deep state. So now let us look at a little bit about Suvendu Adhikari. Hailing from Purba Medinipur district of West Bengal, Adhikari served as a cabinet minister in the Mamta Banerjee government from 2011 to 2020. He has also been elected to Lok Sabha a number of times. He defected to BJP from Trinamool Congress in December 2020. You remember, even Himanta Biswa Sarma, who won with such a stupendous, number, was also a part of the Congress. And here you have Suvendu Adhikari, who was also part of the Trinamool Congress in December 2020, and from 2021 to 26, he served as a leader of the opposition. He defeated Mamta Banerjee from Nandigram by a margin of 1956 votes in the 2021 Assembly elections. So you can see how, how well, he has played the game against a woman who is so, cantankerous. So now, moving on to this lady. Now the BJP has secured a decisive victory with 207 seats, while the Trinamool Congress was reduced to 80 seats. The timing of the ceremony where he becomes the chief minister is scheduled to take place at the Brigade Parade Ground on 25 Baishakh, the birth anniversary of none other than the legend Rabindranath Tagore. Now, in a repeat of the 2021 drama, but with a different outcome for the seat, Suvendu Adhikari defeated Mamta in the Bhamanipur constituency by a margin of 15,000 votes. The transition was not without friction. Mamta Banerjee refused to resign, alleging a conspiracy and loot of votes. However, with the term of 17th Legislative Assembly expiring at midnight on May 7th, Governor Ravi dissolved the Assembly, effectively ending her tenure. Now, Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah and Chief Ministers from across the country are expected to attend the ceremony in Kolkata tomorrow morning. Now, the state remains on high alert due to reports of post-poll unrest. But for the BJP and its supporters, this marks the end of the 15-year TMC era and the beginning of a new chapter in Nabana. Now, moving on to the next, next story. So before that, let me just take a few more comments, very good comments coming from your side. So let's take Chandrasekhar says, Vijay is Joseph Biryani, Christians worse than Talibani. Absolutely, well said. And Shanmukham says, Vijay can only form the government with the help of NDA, otherwise Vijay will be walking on the slippery ground. Here, let me tell you, Shanmukham, as I go on to the story, Vijay said that he's going to work for the downtrodden, the poor people of the state. Now, look at the way he's joining hands with the people's biggest enemies. You're talking about the communists, you're talking about Congress. And now he's forgotten all his values. This is how politics is. They say one thing, and even before, anything happens, they, show another face, another mask. Late PA's role in working extremely hard to make sure Mamta lost. Absolutely. I remember during the reign of Manmohan Singh, Mamta Banerjee threw the papers on the face of the Lok Sabha speaker. One can make out how she is a psycho. See, more than a psycho, I think she has absolutely no morals, no values, And I don't think she's ever, grown up with any manners at all, because she doesn't even have manners. The way she speaks to people, it's just like everybody is dirt. And Lena says those parties who are helping him, those parties want plump posts. Yes, absolutely. Now, so moving on to, we're talking about Tamil Nadu. Now, the political landscape in Tamil Nadu has indeed reached a surreal crossroad. The irony is palpable. Vijay, who launched Tamilaga Vetri Kazhagam, which is TVK, with a promise of new paradigm and alternate politics to break away from the established Dravidian blocks, is now relying on the very allies that bolster the DMK for years. Now, from what I hear, the latest news is that, let me just go to that, 1 second, is that he is very jubilant because now he has been assured. Now, his fans have erupted in celebration as TVK edges closer to power in Tamil Nadu. Supporters who had been waiting anxiously for days erupted into celebration as reports emerged that the communist parties had decided to back the TVK. Now, scenes of jubilation broke outside the headquarters of TVK in Chennai on Friday after the party secured the support of two left parties, significantly strengthening its bid to form the next government in Tamil Nadu. Supporters who have been waiting anxiously for days erupted into celebrations as reports emerged from the communist parties that they had decided to back TVK leaders from the Viduthalai Chirutaigal Kachi, which is VCK, also indicated they were likely to follow the left parties in extending support. Now, outside the party office in Panayur, emotional scenes unfolded as supporters danced, chanted slogans, and celebrated with many described as a historic political turning point. Among those gathered were a group of women from Kerala's Idukki district who said they had been camping outside the headquarters for 3 days despite illness and exhaustion. We've been waiting with fever just to know whether this was the end of the road or the start of something new. Now, one supporter told BTI, adding that they visited a temple in tears after hearing the news of support. Many supporters drew parallels between TVK leader Joseph Vijay and former Tamil Nadu icons such as MGR and Jayalalitha, describing Vijay's rise as the beginning of the new political era in the state. And also bear in mind now the kind of unconditional support that these people are giving. After a day of high tension, CPI and CPIM have officially extended unconditional support to TVK. This brings Vijay's tally closer to the magic number of 118, but it certainly complicates his outsider narrative. Now, let's talk about the irony. These left parties were the bedrock of DMK-led pre-poll alliance. Their swift pivot to support TVK just days after the result is being viewed by many as a masterclass in political pragmatism or opportunism, depending on what you think. Now, the left parties have justified this move by stating their support is for a stable secular government to keep communal forces at bay. However, for a leader like Vijay, who positioned himself as a singular force for changing, leaning on the old guard of the left feels like a contradiction to his original pitch. This is what I'm saying. He has changed his stand already. And to maintain some semblance of their own identity, the CPI and CPIM have clarified they will not join the TVK cabinet. They will support the government from the outside, a move that allows them to criticize the government they help create whenever it suits them. Now, friends, it's very clear that if they follow the left hand's lead, tonight Vijay will have his majority, but he'll be heading a government built on the shoulders of the very party he once sought to replace. So, what has he done? In effect, he has not done anything. The man who said he would stand with the people is finding out that the corridors of Fort St. George, you sometimes have to stand with whoever has the chair. Now, it's fascinating, if somewhat cynical, start to a new era. So, this is something very strange, isn't it? A party with 107 seats, nearly 46% of the House, is being held hostage by parties with just 2 seats each. CPIM, CPI, VCK and IUML with 2 seats apiece. So isn't that an irony, friends, that those who get more, more votes, are not winning? This is the classic disproportionate leverage problem in parliamentary democracy. The smaller the margin to majority, the more outsized the bargaining power of the tiny parties. A party with 2 seats effectively wields the same veto power as the public mandate of 107 seats, isn't it, friends? So it's such an irony that the person who's got the accident number has to think of so many things before he really can sit on the chair. So let me just take a lot more comments have come in. So let me just take the comments. Now Parag says he will make a message of the administration in Tamil Nadu with no political and administrative experience. What an immature choice by the electorate. Now Vijay's fans were pouring lakhs of milk on Vijay's posters. One cannot compare this Vijay with Jayalalitha. She was more intelligent than this joker. Chandrasekhar says CPI and CPM are flags, are used as lion clothes, are dangerous. Yes, indeed. Nina says they are calling Hindus communal force and Hindus' eyes are closed. When will Sanatanis wake up? So, in fact, I mean, this is something, these words are something that actually sums up what is happening. This is exactly what was on my mind. They are abusing us. They are abusing the Sanatanis and we are just keeping quiet, calling us communal. In fact, even the British, said that we are the most peaceful people on earth. And look at the way these people are talking. And these are the most violent people who take revenge on others. He will create a mess of the administration, says Parag, in Tamil Nadu with no political and administrative experience. What an immature choice by the electorate. Here I must tell you, Parag, that Tamil Nadu is a very emotional, the public is very emotional. They get influenced by the movies they see. And the last movie that Vijay played was of a leader, who would sacrifice everything for the people, Jananayak. And so they actually thought this man will do all these things when he comes to power. So that is the stupidity of it. Yes, he has no experience in handling any portfolio. Exactly like Congress leader wants to be PM with a zero vision, says Leena. And Chandrasekhar says, BJP, wake up, bring in Annamalai from Bangalore. Absolutely. And Shanmugam says, even with the support, Vijay will have a tough time. And even if one MLA kicks a bucket, it will be a problem. Yes, absolutely. Nina says, Sanatanis have woken in Bengal after decades. Absolutely. And I think BJP should help Joseph form the government and let him make a fool of himself. That way they can start working on ground. Yes, absolutely, Shashi, well said. And this is very sad that Tamil Nadu is famous for its temple. Now these people, Hindu-phobic, are elected. Yes, we can see what is going to happen. Don't call the British. There are Britain Christians like Muslims, Mughal. Yes. And hope he isn't a copy of Ukrainian. In fact, I would say personally, Leena, that he's worse. He's going to be worse. Worse than, as you said, Kejriwal as well. Why was Annamalai given the next seat in these elections? This was, I think, a big mistake made by the BJP government. He was the one who could have got the more seats. So this is something. And meanwhile, friends, I must tell you that in Kerala, the what you call the musical chairs, the game of musical chairs is happening with so many contenders for the chief minister. And of course, the what you call Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi will ultimately decide who is the one who will listen to their instructions blindly without questioning them. And I think everything falls on K.C. Venugopal, who will ultimately become the chief minister. So this is what I predict. So on this note, we end this session. Thank you, friends, for joining me and posting your valuable comments, because each and every comment is so hard hitting. Chandrasekhar says Hindus are falling from a pan to a fire. Yes, absolutely. And Nina says after 6 months there will be re-elections and he'll get a landslide. Hope not. That's what I hope will not happen. Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Karnataka next targets for Amit Shah. Yes, Parag. This milk pouring ritual on posters is Hindu ritual. The fans doing that for Vijay, the irony, says KK. And with zero experience in politics, entire Trivandrum will fall like a house of cards with no solid foundation, says Mashrishi. Absolutely. So with this, we end the session. Good night, Jai Hind and Jai Shri Ram.